today we're knocking out pre-orders and that whole conversation. Now, it's a very new thing to me. Now, if you're an old gamer or maybe, you just got in on buying stuff online early, maybe the pre-order stuff is not new to you. But pretty much since Best Buy had stopped carrying movies in stores, that's when I started pre-ordering. Now, the very first thing that I really pre-ordered was the Scream Factory Friday the 13th box set. Like, that's the very first thing that I really ever pre-ordered. And then it was kind of downhill from there. And it went from the ritual of every week going to the store on Tuesday just to see what they have. And sometimes I come home with, a movie, 2 movies. Sometimes I'd come home with no movies. That was a rare occasion, but very rarely I would come home with 0 movies. But then there was times where I'd come home with like 20 or 30 movies. Like, it just really all depended on the day, the budget, what was going on, what I found. And I don't have that ability anymore, and now everything's done through pre-order. So this is what's coming out, pre-order it, and then you get it. And so I ended up spending more money in the last few years than I ever have in this hobby. And, some of it was definitely enjoyment, but some of it is not. Some of it has never been enjoyment. I get a movie, through the FOMO thing. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's super excited about it. And then I spend $50 on this like big giant premium set. And I'm like, what is this? And I almost did it with the Rumpelstiltskin thing. Like, I kind of remember watching it when I was a kid, but it was never really like a me movie. And on the revisit, I'm glad I didn't bite the bullet and get it. Now, if you love the movie, cool. I'm glad you got it. I would rather find the VHS at the thrift store for 50 cents and have it on the shelf in a VHS and revisit it that way. One, I think it adds to the charm and the quality of that type of film. But then 2, like, that's $50 of a movie that who knows when I want to watch it the next time. And so, like, getting into this whole like pre-order FOMO thing is something that I'm glad I quit. So I stopped pre-ordering movies, and I want to hold to it unless it's like some crazy, like one of my top 10 favorite movies of all time, special limited edition type thing. Then I'll pre-order that, because that's something that you're gonna lose out if you don't. But like normal standard studio releases, I'll wait. I'll wait for it to come out. I'll wait for it to be available. Lately, the pre-orders have been being pushed back for different reasons. Quality control, there's an issue with it, rights issues. Like, there's been recent things where pre-orders have been pushed back for a little bit, or things have been put out and then they've been taken off the shelves. Like that's happened quite recently. So I'm definitely waiting, and I've been doing it for a little bit now. So I haven't bought anything really since like March, like the end of, well, actually, I didn't really buy anything in March either. So it was like right before March. That's when I had bought my last stuff. And, a movie here and there. I just did the 3 for $33 Amazon. I ordered 2 different boutique label titles that I needed to get. One from 88 Films, Blue Corner. But the thing is, like, when I was going heavy into the pre-orders, a lot of the movies that I was getting were double dips. They're movies I already had. And so then there's this huge rush to rewatch it, whether it be on the old format that I had, or as soon as it comes in, I have to watch that title, and then I have to compare and see, and then maybe I have to make a video and talk about it, and then justify my purchase. And then I'm like, it sat on the shelf on a VHS, and I never upgraded from VHS all these years. So now that the 4K is coming out, like, did I really need that? Like, I'm looking at The Graduate right now. I think the movie's fine. Like, I don't hate it. I don't love it. I'm happy having it on VHS. Do I need it in like pristine 4K? No, I don't. And I know that I don't. I'm happy with that. But there are some VHS tapes here that if they got a Blu-ray release or a 4K release anytime soon, I would 100% get it. Like Hot Stuff here with Dom DeLuise and Susan Pleshette. 100%. I think that's a fantastic, fun film, very underrated. The Curve with Matthew Lillard, another one. I would grab that in a heartbeat. I don't think that ever got, it might have got a DVD, but I don't think it ever got a Blu-ray or anything like that. And I think it's a fantastic film. Pool Hall Junkies is another one. Very underrated film with Christopher Walken and Chaz Palminteri. I think it's a fantastic movie. And another one, very underrated, kind of forgotten about. It has a DVD. I only have the VHS, and that's it. It's kind of one of those like forgotten about films. Those movies I would jump on, but another edition of The Godfather, any of these movies here, like Cocktail, I was like, do I need that on Blu-ray? Maybe eventually if I come across it on a cheap level, but like the whole, the movie gets announced for a 4K, and I'm looking at the shelves, and I have like 80 to 90% of them, and so they're all double dips. They're all movies that I didn't necessarily need. And how often did I really watch them? I wasn't really being honest with myself. And so, like I said, over the past couple of years, I have spent a ton of money on pre-orders. And the reality is there's tons and tons of movies that I would rather have. So I own them already. The pre-order game, I think, is kind of silly. For the most part, I've been able to get every single thing that I wanted, anyway. So like the pre-order thing, I hurry up and I get it, and I'm like, oh, I got it, and so now it's not sold out. And then there's tons of them available. People are getting them way later. I'm doing live streams. People are talking about getting them on sale. And so it's like one of those things, like to hurry up and rush to spend my money to get it is different. Now, if you're talking about like a limited edition boutique thing like Vinegar Syndrome, where they put out only a certain amount of copies, that's a different, animal altogether. But they generally put how many copies they have, like over 2,000, under 2,000. Like they have like a kind of a number of how many are available, so you can kind of gauge it. But that's still a limited number. I shop a lot at Imprint Films, and they usually do about 1,500 copies of their titles, period, in general. I think there's a few titles that have like a different number, but on average it's about 1,500 copies. And so like those will sell out eventually, and there's no gauge of how many's left until they're getting towards like the really barrel, bottom of the barrel, and there's maybe like 30 in there, and then they'll put them at the end of these are selling out fast. And so then you have a gauge of how many's left. But other than that, like when they're there on the thing, you don't know. And so if you don't get it right away, maybe they are selling out. You have no idea. But I can understand the pre-order in that aspect of it, but pre-ordering standard edition studio releases, I just think is absolutely silly. It's not for me. But if they're going to use it to gauge like audience interest, like I can understand that, but at the same time I don't, because all I see out of it is the Disney Sony deal, where everything that they put out is coming out at huge crazy prices, and then the pre-order price is even higher. So, and I think that pre-order price being higher here in America, where you can go to switch it to different countries and see what they're selling that same title for, that's normal and comparable to all the other movies in that country, where we're being price gouged, like double, triple, $60 something for Willow on 4K, where it was like 27 pounds in Europe. So it's one of those things where like it's clear that we are getting price gouged, but then is this like the plan? Like as they're increasing the price and then the pre-order price is higher, is it kind of manipulating the public into this is what it's going to be, and if they're okay at pre-ordering it at this price, then might as well sell it at that price. So I'm just done with the pre-orders. I'm waiting for the movies to come out, and that's where I'm at. And so this month I've only bought 5 movies, and normally I'm buying 50, 60, 100 movies a month, easy, no problem. And it's been different. Like I've been able to enjoy a lot more of my collection, and really just revisit some titles that I love. It's given me a lot more free time for that. It's given me free time to get into my back catalog of the movies that I haven't watched yet. And so it is a nice thing. But I'm done. I'm done with the pre-orders, the whole FOMO thing. I'm over it. I'm over it. So unless it's like a crazy special edition that I have to have with a super limited amount, I'm done with pre-orders. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about all this. You're going to want to check out this video right here for more movie recommendations. And with that, remember to watch a movie today, and I'll catch you guys next time.